Hi, thanks for joining me for this 10-minute tutorial. This one is just going to give you a very basic start to some of the very first things that you need to know to get you playing the piano. So let's get started.
So here we are, we're sitting at the piano, and the first thing that you'll notice is the pattern of the black keys, yeah? So they always go 2 black notes, 3 black notes, 2, 3, all the way up and down. Obviously I've only got a short section here, so I've got 2 repetitions of that pattern is what we're looking at here. So the white notes on the keyboard are what we call the natural notes in music. That's the better term for it. So on the keyboard, all the natural notes are white notes. They're not white notes on a trumpet, or they're not white notes if you sing them, so just remember that. It's only on a keyboard that the natural notes equate to the white notes. And by natural notes, what we mean is A, B, C, D, E, F and G. Okay, probably familiar with the fact that they've all got letter names, but only from A to G, and after G we repeat again. So what we need to do is to just locate where any one of these notes is, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then we should be able to find the others. So let's begin with A. Yeah, so we'll find, so we can always find where A is. So if we find any 3 black notes together, same there, yeah, and then we just take the top 2 black notes, the one in the middle, there, that's A. So if we repeat the pattern again, we can see that that would be an A there. And if you listen to them, they kind of sound the same. That's because they're what we call 1 octave apart. Oct as in 8, yeah, octagon, octopus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah. So they're 1 octave apart. They are both A's, yeah. And obviously that repeats up and down the keyboard, but I've only got 2 octaves within this picture you're seeing here. So if that's A, that's B, and that's C, and that's D, and that's E, and that's F, and that's G, and surprise surprise, we're back again to A. So after G we don't go to H, we go back to A again. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. So that was C, yeah. And what we can see in this picture, in this video here, is the kind of lowest note in the shot is also a C. The C's in the middle, and that's actually called middle C, and then the C at the top. So we're seeing 2 octaves, yeah, the 2 octave section of the middle of the keyboard. So one of the very first things that you can try and familiarise yourself with, which isn't technically really to do with kind of playing the notes, is to just test yourself on where the notes actually are, yeah. So you can just randomly close your eyes, press 1 and see how quickly you can work out what it is. If you're not sure, you can always remember, well, that's A, B, C, D, so that's going to be an E, that's a C, that's a B, that's a D. Just practice. I'll play them and then you try and tell me what they are. So we'll start with A, that's C, that's F, that's D, that's B. That's a hard one because that's G. We're going backwards now, so G, sorry, A, my fault, A, 1 below A is going to be G, and then we're going backwards through the alphabet. F, E, D, C, C, just a few more goes, so that's C, that's E, that's G, That's D, a bit quicker now. That's B, that's G, that's D, that's A, that's E, that's B, that's G, that's F, that's D, that's E, that's C. And just practice. Or the other way around is you can just randomly say G and then see how quickly can you find it. B, how quickly can you find it? Of course, you could go for either octave. So that's the first thing that you can try and familiarise yourself with, just learning the pattern and getting familiar with where those notes are. Don't worry about the black notes for the moment, we'll come to those later. Then the first exercise you can try. Okay, now the white keys are this particular size because it naturally fits the shape of the hand. So if I say put your hand in the C position, what that means is C is going to be the lowest note. So in the right hand, the lowest finger, if you like, is my thumb, yeah? So I'm going to put my thumb on the C, and then what you should be able to see is every other finger rests nicely on the next white note. So every finger is on its own key. So if you find you're doing that, or you find you're doing that, you just want to just try and get a nice resting position, and that's the natural position that sort of hand goes in anyway. Yeah, your hand doesn't rest naturally like that or like that. It should rest nice and evenly like that. And the kind of shape of your hand, you should be sort of on the tips of the fingers, not flat like that. Yeah, a nice even kind of arch. Yeah, imagine you're sort of holding a ball or something tucked in the palm of your hand, but you shouldn't clench it, and it shouldn't be spread out straight like that. It should feel natural, and your knuckles are the top of the bridge, if you like. So it just feels natural like that. And make sure that your thumb is well on the key here, on the C, yeah? Don't have it so it's right on the edge, right on the tip, and it feels like it's falling off. You will find that your second finger, we actually number them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll get used to that. So actually, technically, your thumb is your first finger when we play piano. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I talk about the first finger, I'm talking about the thumb. And that sits naturally there. So you may well find that your second finger sort of does need to go in between those two black notes, but that's perfectly fine. When we come to play later, there are times when you have to use the space in between the black notes. You don't only use the space in front of them. So if you find, or that your fourth finger here is just brushing up against that black note there, then that's okay. Don't worry if you touch them, but you should feel that they're well on the keys, and that each one is on its own key, and just feel that for a little bit. And then it's the same with the left hand. So you might just focus on the right hand for a while, and that's absolutely fine. But if you want to do the same in the left hand, obviously the left hand's back to front. So in this case, it's the little finger, or your fifth finger, that goes on C, leading up to your thumb actually being on a G. So this position here, if you look, so the right hand and the left hand are in exactly the same position. They're mirroring each other, 1 octave above. So the right hand is 1 octave above the left hand. And then all you're going to do, and you can do this with both hands at the same time, or let's just focus on the right hand for now. We're just going to feel that we can play every single note separately. Just like that. And if you can, try and do it to a sort of regular beat so that you're in control. And then and you'll be surprised how difficult this is to start with. Yeah, don't bob your wrist up and down. Try and avoid that. Yeah. What you should have is, this should be sort of relatively straight here. I know it's slightly arched. Yeah. But sort of try and keep this section of the hand. Don't dip your wrist underneath the level of the keys. Keep your wrist above the level of the keys. Yeah. So this is all you're doing, and you might just do this for 5 or 10 minutes until you really feel that you've got control over every single finger. Okay, you can try the same with the left hand. And you'll find that what starts to happen is your hand position starts moving. You end up doing things like this, and your thumb goes for a big walk all the way over here. Yeah, that will happen. So all you're doing is you're training your hand to try and stay in that position. If you're feeling really clever, and if you're finding it quite easy with one hand, have a go with 2 hands together. This is it might take you a while to get to this stage. 2 hands together. You can try what I call seesaw exercises. Just go from the C to the D and try and control that with rhythm. So we're not doing that kind of thing. We're doing it to a steady pulse, as fast or as slow as you want. So you're in control. Then you could try the next 2, just stepping between them. You see how my thumb stays there? Often you'll find your thumb starts going over here and other fingers start doing this. Next 2. Next 2 fingers, keeping your hand in that position. You can even say the names of the notes. That's another thing you can do. So you're learning the names of the notes as you're doing it. So you're going C, D, C, D, C, D, E, D, E, D, E, F, G, F, G. Maybe do the same upside down. F, E, F, E, D, E, D, E, D, C. Then you could try a seesaw exercise, jumping over a note. Yeah, it might take you several weeks to get to this stage. That's perfectly normal. But the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. Yeah? Okay? That's all I do. Really, in the sort of first few weeks of practice, you'll really, then if you're feeling really advanced, after a while you'll find you can do it a lot quicker. The more practice you do, you could even go opposites. So look, I'm actually starting on the thumb, so they're different notes now. Some people find that easier to begin with. And that's what you need to focus on in your first lesson. Good luck with that, and I'll see you in the next one.